The Eisenhower administration does everything possible to consolidate the Shah's power after the coup. They help him to establish a fairly brutal security service, SAVAK. They pour money into the Iranian army, and Iran essentially becomes a client state of the US in the Cold War. In the mid to late 1950s, as Iran's oil exports recover and as American money begins to flow into Iran, there is something of a kind of boom, economic development, and there's a lot of sort of building dams, and the first small Iranian nuclear reactor is built then under the Atoms for Peace program that the Eisenhower administration has. Of course, politically, it's far from normal. This is a period when power is being consolidated more and more and more in the hands of the Shah. And it's becoming more and more difficult to voice any kind of criticism or opposition to the Shah. So one of the first things that the Shah does when Kennedy comes to office is to try to see if Kennedy is going to maintain this flow of arms to Iran. And so what the Shah does is he decides to send an envoy to Washington to meet with Kennedy. For the job, he chooses General Teimour Bakhtiar. General Bakhtiar was the head of SAVAK, so the head of the security service. There are some sources that say that when Bakhtiar goes to meet with his counterpart, the head of the CIA, he says to the Americans, to the CIA officials, how would you feel about me taking power in Iran? How would you feel about a coup against the Shah? And you can imagine what the Americans thought when the person that the Shah has sent as his envoy to Washington, comes to Washington and says to them, well, how about we have a coup in Iran? I mean, that says something about the stability of the Shah's regime and his grip on power.